Hello everyone, Skydream here once again, and we're here with a new game this time. Choice of the Pirate. And this one throws you right into it, so I went straight to stats so I don't get any, so we, I should say, don't get any spoilers. And Ava's here, so hi Ava.
Hello, I have returned once again.
Yes, she
Here I
has.
am.
I would be surprised if any of you guessed the hint we put in the last episode of Heroes Rise, but, I mean, if you did, I don't know, I'll give you a hug or something. Um, I ain't
Social
really got much to
distancing
offer.
podcast.
None of us can go outside or do anything, so
Yeah. Congratulations, you guessed it.
good job. We're
That's
proud of you.
cool. Yes.
But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it.
Here we go.
We're just we looked over the stats, that's all we've done.
Yep.
The
And all
crown
we're
doesn't like
doing.
us, and everything else is pretty even. So yeah,
Yeah. And
caviar
then
means how much you can change
testing.
things. That's how much. That's what I learned today.
Yes. Uh huh. Oh
And
yeah.
we'll decide if we're gonna be a privateer or a pirate.
Yay.
We're gonna be mean regardless because we were a hero last time. It's no more Mr. Nice Sky Dream or Mrs. Nice Sky Dream.
Yes.
Cause, huh. Next, a cannonball hits the water. Asked you, what was this D&D pirate?
A stern.
A stern. Astern of your ship hull. The resulting splash soaks your clothing. You drag your sleeve across your forehead, succeeding in only spreading the water around. Go
Could be worse.
unflappable.
Says the unflappable Caesar Lord, your closest friend. A huge, dark-skinned pirate who towers over you and the rest of the crew. They could have better aim.
I mean, if I am having anybody prepare me a salad. Your ship's last loaded cannon fires, drowning him out for a moment. Okay, it's a dude.
Oh,
Fouling
okay.
the air.
Oh well.
Ava, you are officially a man. Fouling the air with smoke and brimstone. Luckily, the cannon didn't explode. Unfortunately, your cannonball also missed, and you're now out of gunfire. I'm assuming that's a guy?
Possibly?
Ye
Black-
call that a hit, ye landlubbers! Screams your captain, the notorious and cruel Captain Blackguard. It's unfounded criticism, even as he must know, as the ships are closing. The way the ships are closing on each other, there's no clear shot for a broadside, and for that you should all be grateful. Prepare to board, ye scurvy days, or prepare to make peace with Davy Joel, GM. With Davy Jones, for ye'll never send our enemies to him or see him yourself. Either. Okay, doing that on 0 glasses of water a day is not a good idea.
Ooh, yikes.
The flag on the ship, trading fire with you, bears a skull and crossbones, with a rose clutched in its grinning teeth. It's the flag of Captain...
Adelaide?
Ladle Briar. But why do you recognize it? Oh, it's a her. I tried to sign her on the crew. The crown despises her, and so do I. Clapton Blackguard told us we're after her ransom. Oh, okay, so we're really going right in.
Okay, here we go.
Are we going pirate, or are we going working for the crown, young Ava?
I want to do a pirate.
I want to do pirate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh boy, I stayed up till 5 a.m. last night. I don't know what your excuse is for being a crackhead.
I mean, just like constant state of mind. You can't prevent it.
Yeah, it's cool. I tried to sign her onto the crew.
Yeah.
Ladle Briar has a reputation for being ruthless to her enemies, but to her crew, unlike some other pirate captains you could mention, she also captains a fine ship, and according to rumors, she made it through the Crown blockade at Port Lucia 3 times. Lucia 3 times. 3 times, which is going on record.
Lucy.
Not again. Not the autistic children. Oh, that's gonna sound terrible if they didn't watch the last episode of Oh.
Well, watch the other episodes we've done. Otherwise, you will be quite confused.
Because me making fun of I'm not making fun of autistic children, please.
No.
It's a reference to Heroes Rise onwards. Ultimately, she had no need of somebody with your skill set when you were ready to sign a contract, so you ended up with Blackguard. More's the pity. The Crown is in an ongoing effort to rid the Lucian Sea of pirates, has put bounties on pirate ships, setting pirates against each other in hopes of making more legitimate money, or earning their pardons and letters of marque. Mark. Blackguard and Captain Ladle Briar have a long history. The stories told of Port San Alfonso, the pirate haven a few miles south. They say they were once lovers until Blackguard's obsession with finding the treasure of Ishmael the Lost came between them. Briar mutinied against Blackguard, stole his ship and crew, and marooned him. Other stories put Blackguard as less of a victim, claiming that he went mad with rage and found out Briar had hidden a map from him that would have led him to the treasure, nearly killing her and half his crew before coming to his senses. When he's out of hearing, other pirates call him Blackguard the Bloody. Blackguard is nearly as obsessed with destroying Briar as he is with finding Ishmael's legendary treasure. She was an obvious choice for his first bounty target. Wind round north to east, oh my. Blackguard shouts. I'm just gonna make him more and more angry as the episode goes on.
Pretty much.
Blackguard
Sounds
shouts. Your crew tax as the ship's D&D.
Cambient.
Your weather mage calls a gust of wind, bringing the ships nearly side to side. No mercy! That was terrible. So Blackguard screams. The ships groan in protest as their hulls collide. Caesar, whose ship's tradition had long insisted you call him by his first name, claps you on the back. Oh boy, we're getting clapped by a man already. Yeah, probably shouldn't have said that. We're never gonna get monetized.
Oh dear.
Well, how do we make Caesar sound? Because he seems like a formal lad, but...
Yeah. You can make him sound anyway, really.
See you on the other side. He's super soft-spoken compared to, like, Blackguard the angry bastard.
Yes. He's super soft, but he's giant.
He is massive.
Yes.
He's a teddy bear. He says, it's both a promise and a command. We said we were gonna make him a guy, right?
Yeah. It says he, so.
No, as in, like,
Oh, wait.
us.
Oh! Yeah. I think so.
Wouldn't miss it, you say lightly. I'm not sure how I want to make him sound yet. I want to get more of a feel for him.
Makes sense.
Caesar Grims is... By the way, the next game you'll be our lead female.
Woo!
Caesar grins as he leaps across onto the enemy ship, not bothering with the grappling hooks. Your mates are used to draw the ships together. Pirates of Briar's crew swing from their rigging, and it wouldn't be long before both ships have erupted into combat. There you are, standing at the rail. How did you get into this mess? Mess? This is what I live for. A life of freedom and plunder. You'll love to see it. I took on a job with Blackguard to avoid being arrested by the Crown. I hired on with Blackguard to avoid being conscripted with the Navy. I was captured by pirates at youth and haven't found a way to free myself. Blackguard gave me the option to sign with his crew or walk the plank.
They're all pretty good options, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't dislike any of them.
Yeah.
I mean, are we going all in, angry, I'm murdering everything pirate?
I mean, I'd say murderous pirate, but still slightly sensible.
I heard murderous pirate. It's a pirate's
Okay.
life for you. The thrill of battle, the excitement of the chase, the grog, the romance, everything about the sea. Out from under the tyranny of the crown's strict rule appeals to you. Everything that is except for Captain Blackguard. As tyrants go, he's not much better than the clown. Nice! The crown. If you had enough gold to buy your own ship and get out of contract with Blackguard, you know you'd be a much better captain than he is. And really, gold and freedom are all it takes to be a pirate captain. Why is there such a low bar for entry? What is it you despise most about Blackguard? His cruelty? No, we're gonna be cruel. His stingy? No, we're gonna be stingy. He's not very skilled. We are skilled pirates. This is the complete opposite of Sam from the last game.
Honestly.
Because Sam was like, I'm gonna help everybody and be nice. And this is like, no, I murder everybody and I like being a pirate. While Caesar is more concerned about Blackguard's cruelty, even putting himself in the way of the lash to spare other sailors, you have a more professional critique. Which areas of his bumbling do you find most offensive? Jesus! He's a bully, but his combat lacks finesse. He's about as sneaky as a cannonball. He wouldn't know diplomacy if it bit him. He's frankly an awful sailor. He doesn't even understand what our Cambiot, our weather mage, does. Oh, I'm guessing this would affect our stats. Like, whatever we say he's not good at, we would be good at?
Maybe? But it's like what our opinion is of him.
I mean, have we even affected our stats yet? I'm checking. I always check stats. Yeah, we're a pirate more than a privateer. Yes, we are. Everybody else is pretty cool. I mean, nope, these guys don't really like us, but what can you do?
Yeah.
What do you do with a drunken sailor? What can you do with a drunken... I mean, we can say that his combat lacks finesse, because then maybe later on when we get to kill him, if we get to kill him, then, yeah.
Yeah, and having finesse, that's like a huge part of being a pirate. Like, if you can, like, kill people and look cool while doing it, heck yeah.
Can you tell we were excited to do this? You may not be at the level of the dread pirate Flynn, but you can easily pick apart Blackguard's style, because he has no style. It's pure rage that carries him through battle, and it's practically unfathomable that he hasn't been slain by now. His defenses are so weak, but in the meantime, you've got to be sure you don't head off early into yours. Oh, wait. His defenses are so weak, maybe today will be the day that he makes his fate. That makes sense. But in the meantime, you've got to be sure that you don't head off early into yours. Two of Briar's pirates swinging onto deck next to you. You have no time to creel the rail onto Briar's ship next to Caesar. You're in the middle of battle. What do you do? My pistol and cutlass are already drawn to battle. I use magic to fight unconventionally. All's fair in combat, especially cheating. I use my knowledge of the ship to my advantage. I try to talk my way out of combat.
Okay, we're in the middle of battle. Oh, we have magic.
Well, that's if we wanted to be a magician.
Yeah, but still.
It's always an option. I mean, we could just have him be a cheating bumface.
True.
Or we can just have pistol and sword murder time.
What? Either the first one or the third one.
Because I want to do both. Because, I mean, can't we cheat? How would we cheat in this anyways?
I don't know. But maybe the third one? Because all's fair.
I think this will affect our stats, because I played a game like this when I was younger, which had, like, affected stats like this. And, like, so it usually is... Whatever you want to level up is what you use. For example, if you want to have your pistol and sword fight to be higher, then you would pick that. If you want your sneaking to be higher, you'd pick this. If you want your ship thing to be higher, you pick that. If you want your persuasion to be higher, you pick that. And magic for that one, obviously.
Yeah.
So, do we want to be more of a sneaky sneak, or do we want to be, like, head-on battle person? Head-on battle person, because angry men. Yeah. Yeah, you're known among Blackguard's crew as one of the fiercest fighters today. And today will be no difference. Oh, this is gonna be a fun time, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
You fire at one of Briar's pirates, slaying him before his feet touch the deck. You slash your cutlass across the other's neck. Jesus! Both men fall where they stand. Deck!
Yes.
Though your battle only took seconds, the scene around you has changed in the meantime. The air is full of gunpowder. One of the cambions, either Briar's or your own, you're not sure, shifts the wind. Both ships tack without the sailors being ready for it. You and everyone else stagger to keep your balance. You see Blackguard engaged in a duel with one of Briar's pirates. A tall woman who was Briar's first mate, you guess. Near the steering wheel, not far from you. Blackguard is hard pressed. Maybe he really has matched this time. Unfortunately, if he dies, Briar might turn the crew in to the crown for Blackguard's bounty. Jesus, I butchered that. If Blackguard and the mate die, that's 2 problems solved. I don't care what happens to the crew as long as Blackguard is killed. I defend my captain to the end.
Oh, we just insulted our captain. But will we defend him?
No. I want to be the captain of this ship. Look at me, I'm the captain now.
Yeah. Briar's pirates. First mate.
Because, I mean, we could just sneaky and kill both of them.
True.
So, 2 problems solved.
Yeah.
Ideally, both villains will perish in this combat, as will Briar, and the world will be rid of people plaguing your existence. Maybe you could even commandeer one of the ships given the opportunity. The ideal so rarely happens, though. When it does, it's usually been given a little help. I keep fighting other pirates and wait for an opportunity to throw my dagger into the fray. I summon a wave to sweep them off the deck. I use some line to trip them up. I use belaying pins to hold up the mainsail. I mimic Briar's voice to distract both pirates.
I don't think mimicking a voice will really help. I mean, like...
Do we use line to trip them up and then stab them while they're down?
Sure.
What would this do? Oh, I think it's... I think I can kind of tell what stats affect what. Like, this is fighting, this is magic, this is sneaky, this is your sailing, and this is your talking.
Yeah.
We're gonna trip them up. All you need to do is run enough length of line behind Briar's first mate to get into position to pull both pirates off balance. It's easy enough to use the chaos on deck to avoid Blackguard's notice. Your dagger guards your side, your cutlass makes a few passing slashes. Small cuts won't take a man down, but enough add together you can undo the enemy pirates. You'll count that as your contribution to your shipmate's battle. In the meantime, you find a line, secured by a belaying pin. It's large enough to coil that you'll have rope to spare. Too bad it's not enough it's not enough for Blackguard to hang by. You run behind the first mate undetected, then skulk into position, waiting for the right moment to pull them both off their feet. Blackguard stumbles forward, and you haul, sending Briar's first mate tumbling backward as Briar falls face first on top of her. Unfortunately for the first mate, Blackguard's sword is the first thing to connect. Unfortunately for you, Briar's first mate didn't have the same uncanny grip on her sword. Blackguard gets up, dusts himself off, and glares at the line. It only takes him a few moments to follow the line back to you. Moments later, Blackguard approaches you, fending off another attack before reaching your side. "I can't prove you're guilty of anything," he hisses. "But I don't need to. I'll be keeping an eye on ye, sailor." The way he says it, it's as though he'd never really noticed you before. And you suspect he doesn't even know your name. With all the grime and salt caked on your tunic, you doubt he can even tell your gender. Now, how are we going to how are we going to specify our gender? Nobody knows. I'm a woman.
Did you pause the recording or play it?
The recording is going right now, young Ava.
Got it. Now you have it.
Do we want people to tell our gender? I'm a woman.
Hoo-ah.
I'm a man. I don't see myself as either. People used to see me as a woman, but I'm a man. People used to see me as a man, but I'm a woman.
Huh.
I mean, we could just be like, nobody knows our gender. Because you're not man and I'm not woman.
True.
Really intense music for gender deciding, I should say.
Beautiful. Yes.
Yes. Oh, and by the way, guys, feel free to let us know what you think about the music, if we should keep it going in the background. We're gonna have it for this episode, but if you guys say you don't want it, or if you do want it, we'll decide accordingly.
Yep.
So are we going with that we're neither man nor woman?
Sure.
Or that nobody knows our gender, so either of us can voice the main character at any time?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Your gender is your business, frankly. The crewmates might not know it. How do you identify? I'm a woman, I'm a man, I don't think of myself by gender. Because we are woman and man.
Yes.
We are what happens when you combine a man and a woman.
Always good.
Most of your crew are on the side of thinking you as a male. In common language, most folk are masculine by default, yada yada yada. For many of them, like you, it doesn't make a difference in how they treat you. You're shipmate first, and as long as you do your job, they'll treat you like an equal. Or, in the case of their captain, like something to be swabbed off the deck. What is your name? What should we name ourselves? Our last guy was Sam, because
Yeah.
it was gender
I
neutral,
am
so I figured.
Montoya. Sorry, Princess Bride reference. I couldn't miss it.
Emery, Luz, Yach, Inigo.
Inigo Montoya.
Is that the name we're going with, Ava?
I'm very tempted.
Or we could just like go with a completely different name.
True. Ooh. If we get to name our ship, I have a bunch of saved ship names.
The SS Sky.
That would be pretty cool. Yes, that's kind of. Oh yeah. I also have SS Sea Snake.
That's a good name. That's a good name.
Thank you.
Okay, but yeah, let's name ourselves. Let's make it custom.
Yeah.
Okay, what is our name?
Go for it. I'm very bad at picking out names.
Rick. Ast. It's not our name. What's like an old pirate name? Dutch? Arthur? Definitely just didn't play
I'm
Red
gonna
Dead 2.
check.
Go for it.
I'm going to check my list. I have a list of names. Just gonna say. Because I've been playing a lot of D&D where I need to think of names on the spot, and I'm like, oh no.
Something tells me this is gonna be a fun game, because there's a lot more freedom in here than there was in Heroes Rise.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Jack.
Oh, I have very, like, old-timey D&D names, so they're a bit, like, very unordinary. I mean, maybe, yeah.
What do you got? What's your favorite?
Well, of course I had to pick out the name Quirrell, because
Coral?
Quirrell, we stan Harry Potter. But mostly Star Kid. Like, if you haven't seen a Harry Potter musical by now, watch it. It's on YouTube.
I've not
love
even
it.
watched the movies. Please don't kill me.
I won't kill you. You should watch them eventually. But, like, the musical is literally the best thing in existence, I think.
What if we name our mans Dauntless?
Oh my god.
That's an inside joke that probably none of you will get, but are we naming him or her? Are we naming them Dauntless?
Let's go for it, honestly.
Dauntless
I like
it is. Plus, it sounds
Yeah. Because my other ones were Celeste, Birkin,
Birkin, big man Birkin coming through.
I have a few other ones because it's like just what other people name themselves. Like Morgan, Leovar, Aaron.
What's
That
our
was one of my
family name?
characters.
Silver, Morgan, DeLeon, Demar,
Ooh.
the Drab.
Oh, they could belong to the family of my D&D character if you would like the name. Oh, let me think. What is it?
What is it?
Cher. That's what the name is.
Cher?
It's Chere. It's a bit too French, maybe for being an angry pirate.
Chere.
Yeah.
So we got our main man's Dauntless Cher.
Ooh. Here he is with his long lost. With their long lost cousin, who's also a pirate, named Roman Cher. So like,
Beautiful.
it runs in the family, pirating. Yeah, we love it.
One day, with enough fame or infamy, you'll earn a monkey. But for now, you're only Dauntless Cher, a lowly sailor your captain couldn't be more bothered to remember. By the way he's looking at you now, you can tell he'll remember what you've done. You hear the familiar sounds of the incantations in the old island language Pure, as both your cabinet and the other cabinet on the prior ship chant to try and control the water and sky around you. Dueling winds never bode well for the sailors between, and this time is no different. Before you or Captain Blackguard can leap it back into the fray, a terrible scream of grinding hulls cuts across the decks as the wind pushes the ships into each other. A breath later, and the air explodes around you, flattening everyone to the quivering deck. The winds do not stop. The ships push into each other, and the air tears at the hulls until it's clear that both ships are going to shake themselves to pieces. Abandoning ship is the only thing to do. But rather than ordering the crew to flee, Blackguard is swearing up a storm, cursing at his now unconscious cabinet to fix things up. I'm calling him cabinet. Cambient to fix things. The air holding you to the decks releases, and you have to move, but where will you go? Blackguard's cabin to save the charts, below deck to make sure everyone gets out, cargo hold to retrieve the treasure, the dinghy get me out of here. Cargo hold, we're going for booty! Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I was gonna say that or number 2, but at the same time, we're a bit bloodthirsty, so like.
What kind of bad person does good things? It's hard to get below the berth deck. Berth. But you're determined to make it all the way down to the hold. You're the only one going below. Anyone with sense is racing to the dinghies. But you'd hate to see all the treasure go to waste. You don't have much in the way of plunder. You just left San Alfonso in the morning, after all. But you happen to know where the captain had some crates of spices brought aboard for legitimate trade. They're lightweight, and you figure that you should be able to salvage enough to boost your personal wealth for the voyage. The deck trembles beneath your feet. You can see the leaks already springing through the hull. The groan of the wood beneath you makes it clear she's not going to last much longer. You list through the galley like a seasick landlubber and grab an old sack behind by the ship's cook. And it's not as though he'll need it. You climb below the cargo hold, which has taken the brunt of the damage from the duel of the cambients. The small space is difficult to navigate, even at the best of times. The crates and barrels have all come out of their bindings, but you see one spice crate. It's buried, and it'll take work to get. Help! Somebody calls from the aft. I didn't know what voice to give someone. The ship creaks ominously, and the water around your ankles is getting worrisome. Um,
I do.
I'm here for loot, every pirate for themselves. I can't just leave someone to die. Forget the treasure and see if I can help. Forget this, neither treasure nor rescue is worth dying over. I'm here for loot, boys!
We did come for loot. No turning back now.
Your booty is not as good as these doubloons, let me tell you something. You can't be bothered with rescue when there are riches to be found. How do you get the spices? How do we do that? How are we gonna do this, Ava? You make this call.
Okay, I think the first one is the smartest decision, so then we don't like damage anything inside.
Yeah, because like if we, well no, because rotting the wood wouldn't do anything to it either.
Yeah.
So are we rotting the wood or are we prying it open?
Probably prying it open. I don't know how long rotting the wood necessarily. Who knows? We're gonna pry it open.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll take less time.
Yeah, and I doubt they'll kill us this early on, so there's that.
Yeah, we'll find out.
It just says you died at the end.
You died.
As one of the ship's carpenters, you always had a few. Well, the ship's carpenter? You always had a few tools on you, and at the moment your chisel came in real handy. You pry open the crate and throw the spices into your bag. You're sure it'll be worth something. You rush back to the ladder and haul yourself up. You make it aloft with almost no time to spare. There aren't enough diggies to get everybody off the ship, so you suppose it's lucky that so many pirate bodies litter the deck. You don't look at how many of them are your crewmates and how many of them are your foes. You have enough to worry about. The last dinghy is being lowered over the side. You dash aboard. As the dinghy splashes into the water, the pirate lowering her jumps aboard, landing lightly on her toes and grinning all the while.
Can't say we'll see the likes of that again. Says cheerfully, unfazed by either the combat or the destruction.
I'll be just as glad if we never do. Why is he Irish? Mutters the dark-skinned Irishman Caesar. Surprisingly solemnly, from the aft seat in the dinghy, his huge arms are already muscling the oars into action, pulling away from the wrecks before they can suck you down. You take an oar up as well, and soon all of you are rowing towards the port of San Alfonso. The wrecks of the two ships finally sink below the horizon as your dinghy arrives at the port several hours later. There may have been a few times where you've been happier to have solid ground beneath your feet, but you're hard-pressed to think of one. Captain Blackguard is issuing orders to his remaining crew at a dock much further down. You see Briar doing the same to hers. You live to fight another day, but it looks like there's no escape from your contract with Blackguard yet. His sharp eye finds you in the crowd. You know exactly what his expression means. So here you are, back in the port you left earlier today. If the captain has any kindness in his soul, which you doubt, you'll be headed to the Black Dog for a drink, or for some music. You can always hope. So, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, considering how bad things could have gone, and yeah. San Alfonso. If the crown were to be believed, San Alfonso would be the cesspool into which all of the villains and ruffians of the high seas drained, and where they'd be right about the company. San Alfonso is nothing like a cesspool. It's much more akin to a tropical paradise you hear about in romances, or even older tales of the beautiful island of Calypso. In an atmosphere, it lacks nothing. Natural spring water runs freely. The trings provide papayas and mangoes aplenty, and the natural harbor guards against the worst weather, and the crowd's naval patrol. The crown's naval patrols. The port town itself is a vibrant place where locals mingle casually with sailors from distant shores, where the music cascades down the streets, and where rum flows in abundance. But it's also a clean little town. Though the law itself is quite relaxed, it's truly unspoken. There's an unspoken truce among pirates, and an understanding that those who take advantage of the hospitality of San Alfonso in a way that harms their people will find themselves barred from the island. How this should come to pass, you're not sure. There must be a reason the leader of the port town is known as El Sabio, the Wise. What part of San Alfonso do you enjoy visiting most? The School of Magic? the Library of Alexander, which one, and the Bazaar or the Tavern.
Hmm. I mean, I would say the tavern, but we could do something else if we wanted to add more depth.
I mean, we could go and be like big brain people,
Sure. Yeah.
or we can go and buy clothes, or we can just go out and get a pint, lads.
How about the second one? That's pretty smart. That's a pretty cool idea.
Actually, I want to see how our stats have changed since that. Oh, we
Oh,
are
yeah.
pistol and sword lads. We are.
Mm-hmm.
We are skulldaggery. We are sailing. That doesn't make sense. We're ruthless. We're greedy, and we're a pirate. Nothing else here changed. We got 40 doubloons, so we got cash.
Nice.
Oh wait, we have cash. Do you want to head over to the bazaar and see if we can buy something?
Oh, maybe, but I don't know if that's where we're going right now, because it just says what you enjoy visiting most.
Oh yeah. Then let's go and read.
Sure.
Libraries are few and far between in Lucian, but the Library of Alexander makes up for how spare written materials are in your life at sea. Open to the public, even those who aren't residents, the collections are certainly not romances or other entertaining tales, but also full of shelves of mathematics and navigation, astronomy and sciences, treatises on laws and philosophy. It's a veritable treasure trove for knowledge seekers, and you admit you've learned a thing or two about tactics from the classic works on strategy you've encountered while browsing. Also, the librarian plays a mean game of chess. She's ruthless. That wasn't a bad choice. I don't think anything too bad really happens. But tonight, it looks like Captain Blackbeard, nice, Blackguard, has a soft spot in his heart and is leading you and the rest of your bedraggled crewmates to Lobo. Yeah, I'm not sure if I should be saying that because I don't know if Mommy YouTube is going to be nice about it. The Lobo African American. The Lobo African American is the kind of place the Crown would have its citizens believe represents San Alfonso entirely. Low-end, low-class establishment known for brawls, drunkenness, and crass humor. Where the rest of Alfonso is almost entirely eerily symbolized, considering its population is scoundrels and sea dogs. The lowbrow African American is a raunchous house of rum and music, dancing and debauchery. It's the first stop on nearly every sailor's list upon their return to port, especially sailors who are half drowned. But though the good-natured brawls are commonplace, pirate captains never settle their grievances in Lobo African American. Like the rest of San Alfonso, the truce applies here. No matter how much one captain may hate another, so when Briar and a crew show up at the same stay as you and your crewmates moments after your arrival, you all avoid each other entirely. No sense rubbing salt into the wounds you're all licking. Captain Blackguard settles into a table and, for a moment, seems to have forgotten about you, giving you a short time to indulge your curiosity about the other patrons of the Lobo African American.
You can just say Lobo.
You've met friends, enemies, and lovers under this roof. Sometimes all three at once. After a day like today, you'd be glad of some congenial companionship. So what sort of lovers do you normally seek?
Wanna go women?
I mean, you like women and I like women, so...
Yeah.
I really hope you don't mind, like, me putting that out there on accident.
Oh yeah, it's whatever.
But yeah, no. Women are cool.
Yeah. Insert flag emoji.
Insert flag emoji. If I remember after this, I'm so putting that in there. There are frequently women at the Lobo African American that meet your taste. Okay, that's a little weird. And you've tumbled
Just
with
say Lobo.
Lobo African American. And we've tumbled with a few in attendance tonight. But there's one who's caught your eye a number of times that you've not yet had the chance to encounter more thoroughly. Jesus. Anne Reed, a wealthy pirate captain who's not given you a second glance. She's everything the romances make a pirate out to be, and arrogant to boot. She boasts that she'll one day be the next pirate king, and the way she holds court at Lowbrow African American, it's as if she's already assumed her title. Reed would never let her gender stop her from becoming a king or anything else that she pleased. And the king is the king, regardless of who holds the role. She might not be worth the trouble she'd undoubtedly come with, but there's no denying that she's attractive, and she's got strength and power to back up her bragging. You notice a newcomer among her audience, and only pause to give him a second glance because of the way he's watching her. He's pretty for a sailor, and as strong as you'd expect, but he glances at everybody in the crowd with a calculating gaze that makes you uneasy. What is he up to? He just stands and stabs Anne Reed. I am the captain now. I'm making that joke way too often.
Yeah.
There's another newcomer you notice, though for different reasons. A young Cambiant, an islander by heritage, and if you're not mistaken, is seated at a table by herself, which means she's made an impression on someone. No one sits alone at Lobo African American unless they inspire respect or fear. So the Cambiant must have done something to stake her claim. Despite the honor, she doesn't look pleased with the solitary position. You could take the risk of buying her a drink and see if her frown is perpetual, or if she'd lighten up on the promise of a bit of fun. And then a raucous burst of laughter draws your attention from another table where John Gunn, an old drunk sea dog as he is once again recounting his adventures as a young of group sailors, with such exaggeration that no bait in the world would catch the truth. Who do we approach?
Ooh.
Do we go with... I mean, if we're looking for power and money, Anne Reed would probably be the... No, because then she'll want us to work for her.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like,
What about the Cambiant?
Yeah, I was thinking her as well.
Yeah.
Let's go buy her a drink, lass. The patrons around you all give you that look that you're either brave or an idiot as you approach the table with the sad-looking Cambiant. Because we're talking to a woman, I'll do the voice for our guy, well, our person.
Yeah.
But like, if you ever want to do the voice for him, go for it because they're either.
True.
May I join you? You ask as the Cambiant looks up, startled. Go for it! We've been doing Spanish homework, by God!
Ooh, por supuesto, he says quickly, and one of the chairs from the table shifts towards you. You couldn't have sworn her feet weren't close to move it, but she couldn't have used cambiar, not without chanting her body motions. Could she? Sorry, I didn't expect anyone to join me.
A pretty little thing like you. Sure you don't want company? You must have impressed someone to end up at a Soto table, and why not? Who did you impress, young Cambiant? We are more than just getting in people's pants. We are murdering people and getting in their pants.
Of course.
In that order. The chair she nudged away from the table for you suddenly slams back into it. You're not sure how she did it. She used cambiar, you're sure, but without chanting, which makes it clear that people should be impressed.
Apparently not enough of my reputation had spread, she says with suspicion. Just what are your intentions?
You hold your arms open defensively. Hey, I just want to chat, you say. I was curious what a Cambiant was doing sitting all on her own in the Lowbrow African American. It's not exactly a universidad.
She shrugs. Just looking for a ship, she says. I'm Tanima. It's not uncommon among islanders, or pirates for that matter, to have a single name.
Dauntless share! I'm just changing this guy's voice up so much until I find something that fits.
Honestly, same here.
And while I think my captain's likely to leave our cabin here at port after our last battles, I can't say I recommend his ship. He's kind of charming, our guy is. But before you can converse further, John Gunn launches himself up from the table, tipping half the drunks. "'Tis here in the honest truth," he roars. "I've a map on me and I'll prove it. I'll bring the treasure back. No one will laugh at John Green again." What kind of accent? Then he stumbles out of the taverna into the night. His departure is largely greeted with laughter, but Blackguard isn't laughing. Your captain stands. He beckons you and Caesar Lord. He heads outside. You know without a doubt he's going after Gunn's treasure. I excuse myself and follow. He's my captain. I excuse myself and follow. There's treasure to be had. I look to what Caesar's gonna do. I wait. What's Blackguard gonna do to me in the low bow African American?
How about the second one?
Yeah, because I'm so up to kill Blackguard, take his ship, the treasure, and the people, and just go for it, and then kill our people after we find the treasure.
Just murder spree after we get the treasure.
Hey, we said we were gonna be bad people. And by God are we gonna be bad people.
Whew.
Oh wait, but what if we're not allowed to talk to her again?
Who knows?
No.
We'll run into her, possibly.
Treasure matters more than coochie. It's the dumbest shit. Blackguard paces in the moonlight, the sway of his step evident as he's walking to the shipboard, as he's more used to walking on shipboard than land. "Lord," he says, acknowledging the big man, then he turns to you. "Share." So apparently he took the time to collect your name. "The reason you're here," he says sharply, "is because I don't trust ye to be out of me sight. I'll not have a mutineer aboard me ship. One toe out of line, I'll slice your throat. Do you understand?" Yes, sir, would be prudent, and you managed to choke one out to Blackguard's satisfaction. Blackguard gestures at the retreating form of John Gunn, the drunk old dog with the supposed treasure map. "Gunn says he's got a map to treasure of Captain Avery Flint. 'Tis not a legend of Ismail the Lost, but since we find ourselves in need of coin, we can't afford to miss this opportunity. We'll be the ones to get that treasure, and if ye do your part, we'll split the shares equally. Let it not be said that I'm a stingy captain." You and Caesar do your very best to not look at each other, because one of you two might not be able to keep a straight face. "If the legend speaks true, Flint left more than enough to buy me a new ship," a Blackguard continues, "and I'll be damned if I stay landlocked longer than need be." As Blackguard expounds the idea with curses, Caesar leans down close to you. "If he left more than enough to buy a new ship," he says quietly, "then by tomorrow you could be Captain Share with me as your first mate." This is gonna be fun.
Ooh, yeah.
Your own ship, your own captaincy. It's been an opportunity you've been after for years. All you and Caesar needed is coin. After you find a way out of those pesky contracts with Blackguard. The captain winds down his rant on the terror of being stranded ashore, and you and Caesar both nod dutifully in the absent agreement. Blackguard turns to you. "Shire, I think it's time for ye to show some initiative and leadership. You know code words for a captain putting a sailor into the test when you hear them. How shall we go about this?" Steal his map? Screw this dude, we're gonna murder him.
Honestly.
Okay, so the audio got a bit weird there for a second, so we're just gonna continue on with the choice. If you want to reason, then pause and go through it. Pretty much we just robbed the guy and the trees were weird, and the game's asking us what we think about those.
Yep. And I think we already stole the map.
We did steal a map, yes.
Yes.
I mean, as far as he knows, we didn't. But
Okay. You want to go with the second choice?
Works for me. Yeah. Said like a true Cambiant, or at the very least, someone who listens to the magic users talk about the supernatural. Following the map, you climb upward through the Mahoganies and Kafox. I don't know how to pronounce that. Listening to the Howlers and Vervid monkeys argue in trees. Once you hear the scream of a cat or a Cody, the fuck? And though you know it's no large predator that lives on the island, you find yourself keeping an extra sharp watch around you. The watchfulness helps you spot a pair of boulders that serve as the last landmark on the map. And then your map's at a really big X. It's time to dig!
Here we go.
Blackguard, always the treasure hunter, had Caesar carry the shovels for your team, only on their trek to the forest. Caesar hands them around, and all of you put your backs to work. What are you planning to do about Blackguard? You're beyond the rules of San Alfonso now. An accident that happened to him out here would clearly be understood and beyond your control. I take a break from digging. I take a break from digging to get a drink, then shoot him while he's got the shovel in the dirt. I follow Blackguard's orders. I'd rather try out of his contract than kill him. I make a bet if my shovel hits the treasure before his, he let me and Caesar out of our contracts. I knock him out and take a share. Why don't we just shoot him?
True.
I mean, it would be funny.
Yeah. And I mean, we're already digging a hole. We can just take the treasure and put him in.
Exactly. Say we use the gunshot, and if anybody asks what the gunshot was, we can just say, the captain was getting mauled by a cougar, but we had to shoot our way out. One shot and the cougar was down, but the captain didn't make it. Sad times, lad. Sad times.
Or we could blame it on the other drunk pirate, like he came back and you shot him.
Yeah, but he might have an alibi.
True. But he's also drunk, so...
Fair. You drink from the canteen, drawing your pistol when Blackguard can't see you, and then you see your moment. His shovel is stuck in the dirt, his back bent, fully committed to his action. You shoot. The captain falls forward in shock and groans as his head hits the ground. You walk over and hover over him, aiming your other pistol at his head, but the wound is fatal. He doesn't even offer any last words. Truly, the world's a better place without him in it. Jesus, this is dark! Caesar nods and you nod in agreement. Comparatively, the rest of the evening is uneventful, and eventually the treasure is unearthed. The treasure's chest is buried deep down. It's an effort to haul up, but it has a satisfying heft, and you're eager to see what's inside. Once you've hauled up the treasure, you and Caesar divide it out. There's nearly 2,000 doubloons in here. A small fortune for a single night's work. That is cash! Especially considering you're splitting it with only one other person. What did you do with your share? You ask. Oh wait, no, that's you. Go for it.
Okay. What do you do with your share? You ask Caesar.
He shrugs. I thought I'd put it aside, he says. I'm not done with Sea Lot just yet. I have no desire for a ship of my own, if there's a place for me on yours.
You offer your hand. Glad to have you aboard, you say.
You make your way back to San Alfonso, immensely richer, but the exhaustion sets in and you're for bed. You're too tired to dally, and tomorrow you'll have to see about the ship. Okay, guys, we're gonna end the episode here for today. I know it's a lot shorter than our usual episodes, but your boy is fasting, and pretty much I can't drink water, so going 2 hours while talking a bunch while not drinking any water is just... it's not a fun time.
Yes, it is a possibility. These will decrease to an hour length.
Yeah.
For a little while.
Yeah, and it's only for about a month, so this series might take a bit longer, but maybe I'll be able to pull through and do 2-hour episodes at some point once I'm more used to fasting.
True, and even going through it 1 hour at a time is still fun.
Absolutely. And honestly, this game is really fun. I really like the whole freedom aspect of it, because, like,
Yeah.
we're not, like, we could have taken a completely different path with just everything we've done so far.
True.
We didn't even have to follow the captain here.
Yeah. New character, completely.
Yeah. And, I mean, hey, it's a very big difference from what we were doing with Heroes Rise. That man's... Sam Sterling... This is the type of person Sam Sterling would fight.
Yes.
Anyways, yeah, it's been fun. I appreciate you guys watching through. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's been fun. Stay safe, stay happy, stay hydrated. Skydream.